Alright, so I wanted to do a video on the Tiny House Electric. I have just completed the run from the pole by the street into the tiny house, and I want to just kind of do a quick video of that before I get into the electric within the tiny house. So I've got the tester on here, and it looks like I did a good job. The two yellows indicate a correct hookup, that it's properly grounded, not reversed, and all that good stuff. So that's good news. I put this outlet here for no other purpose than to run this test, and it is hooked up to this line, which goes over here to this outlet or inlet, whatever you want to call it, and that's where the power comes into the house. That is a 30 amp 125 ship to shore connector, and I'll show you what that looks like outside. So take a walk with me. We'll follow this out and back to its source. So that connector, that's the outside of it. Has a twist on, and what that does is it goes over here to a so this thing terminates in a male hookup, which goes into the female on this RV 30 amp power cable that I have, and that in turn you can see runs down over here. So let's follow that back. This right here leads to the shed, and that is a 75-foot cable, which I got for a really good deal actually. They tend to be kind of pricey. I've run it via circle cut into the shed and then kind of patched it up with the disc that wound up getting cut out. And I'll show you where that goes. I'm gonna go into the shed. Now obviously everybody's setup is going to be a little different. You're not going to need this particular piece of it, but that's where it comes in. I kind of reinforced the back with some wood so that I had something to mount that disc to as well. And then it goes into an outlet over here. Now that outlet is fed underneath there. You can see that. There's another hole in the shed. So let's see where that goes. Let's go back out this way. Let's take a look at that. That, you'll see, come out right there. So that feeds the outlet, and then we come out of the side of the shed there. The reason I did this is because I had to do roughly just over 100-foot run to the house over here, and you know, it's hard to get cables that length, and they're pricey. And anyway, connecting through the shed made sense to me too, because I'm going to just put a rack here on the side and then be able to roll up the cord and hang it from the shed, both for this side and for this side. So let's follow this, and then we're pretty much at the origin of this whole thing. That plugs into right there. This is the pole by the road, and that's how that works. Now I had another one over here, also a 30 amp, but I plugged in my tester rig into that, and this is all hooked up all wrong for whatever reason. So there's that one. And then there's the one on this side, and this one was fine. And that whole thing is fed by this one right here, RV receptacle. It's a 30 amp, and that is feeding the one over here on the left. That's basically it. Let me show you one more thing back at the house. Another real useful thing to have. So instead of doing the entire run and testing it, you know, in the way that I have inside the house, what I decided to do was test it along the way, right? So you saw this terminate right here, and what I got is one of these things, which goes from 15 amp, from 30 down to 15, and then this 15, when I plugged it into this piece, allowed me to do that same test, to check the circuit integrity like I have inside the house where I started the video. So I've done that all along the way, because I could have, you know, for example, hooked up the outlet in the shed improperly, and then that mistake would have followed or made its way all the way here into the house. So just double and triple checking, because I'm not an electrician, and do not take my advice as if it were from an electrician. But I really, by virtue of really testing and being insanely careful with this stuff, feel like I've done a good job. Now, one final thing to check here is I've got this kilowatt device, and what it does is you can run things through this, and it'll tell you how much energy something is using, for example. Right, when you plug something in here now, you can monitor the energy usage. But when you plug it in, just like that, it also tells you what your voltage is right now. So we're getting here at the house 124.5 volts. So that's perfectly acceptable. And this is another good thing to have in your toolkit, just to see if, you know, before you plug in your house, they always suggest that you know, like if there's surges, or if there's, you know, if you're plugging into a dodgy power source of any kind that you're unfamiliar with, it's good to test it. So hope that helps. What I'm going to do next, which is way more complicated than just getting the power into the house, is explain this fun device down here, which is the RV panel that I use to distribute the electricity within the house. Anyway, I will come back and elaborate on that. Thanks.